and welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I want to show you everything that I'm planting and growing for November. It is almost the end of spring here in subtropical Australia in Brisbane, and boy, it's been so hot, very humid. But yeah, let me show you what I am up to in the garden this week. I finally decided to plant the sugar baby pumpkin in this back corner garden bed and grow it vertically. So we went to the hardware store to purchase some wire and installed it at the back. We bought some L-shaped brackets to attach to the fence, then the wire could be tied to them to make it sturdy. A bee kept coming to pollinate the rock melons and I kept trying to film him, but man, those bees are so quick. And it was finally time to plant the pumpkin. I dug up some of the compost that was now broken down to add to the corner bed to top it up as it was quite low. Then I added some worm castings and some rooster booster, which is a slow release fertilizer. That in. Oh, the bee's back. There's a really beautiful bee with a blue bottom and it keeps coming back to these flowers and pollinating them, which is amazing because there's a few little rock melons starting to grow and I was hoping they'd get pollinated. Alright, let's get this pumpkin in here. This is the pumpkin here. It's called Small Sugar if you haven't seen my other videos of what I'm planting. I've only got one pumpkin, so this better grow because I don't have a backup, but they're pretty quick to grow if anything happens anyway. And the little sage has sprouted and a summer crisp, but the sunflowers haven't. So let's get this pumpkin in the ground. You can see it's well overdue to go in with all those roots there like that. Crazy. It grew so fast, it was like a week. I'm just gonna pick off that leaf there because it's a bit yellow. And it's in! Hooray! And it's got this trellis to grow up now, grow up vertically, and apparently they don't fall off. Their stalks grow really thick to hold them when they're growing vertically, so that's cool. Alright, I'm just gonna water it in now. Pumpkin is in place. And we've got the rock melon growing up the trellis there. And this one growing up here. And I'll show you the little baby rock melon I found before. The fig trees are down there, mini rock melons over here, and the watermelon behind there. So that is the baby rock melon there. I'm actually covering with organza bags at night to stop the possum eating it. And I just spotted another one there. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to cover that one up as well. It's very exciting, starting to get rock melons. Oh, just spotted another one. I don't know if that got pollinated though. It looks a bit yellow. We'll see how we go. So fingers crossed for some decent rock melons soon. Yeah. Okay, so this week I started a few more seeds as well because the cucumbers are starting to get covered in aphids. I don't think they're going to last much longer, so I started another 2 Craig cucumbers, which is the self-pollinating, and I started some Market More. So there's 2 or 3 that have popped up there. So Market More is a heirloom variety that I've heard is really good. Someone suggested that in the comments, so thank you for that. So that'll be cool to see what that one's like. Although it's not self-pollinating, so I'll probably have to get in there and hand pollinate into the enclosed raised bed, this one over here. But I am planning on opening the front door up every day, which I do anyway, so that the beneficial bugs can get in and hopefully the bees can come and pollinate this one for me. And I planted some zinnia. So zinnia, which is the peaches and cream variety, and we've had a few of those pop up there, which is exciting. Some more summer cos lettuce because I actually planted out the 6 that had sprouted 2 weeks ago. They're in the garden bed behind me here now. So I'm just going to continually do succession plantings every 2 weeks of the summer cos and the summer crisp because I tried that the other night and it tastes really good. But only 1 germinated from 4, so I'm a little bit disappointed with that. I don't know if I buried them too deep. We'll see. I did plant another 4 2 days ago and I put 2 seeds in each cell, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we get better germination. And I purchased some California poppy seeds the other day too, and I'm still waiting for them to germinate. It's new seed packets, so hopefully soon. Some flowers take up to 21 days, so just got to be patient with those. So this week I planted out some Bollotti beans. Variety is Red Rooster, and these have already come up. I think I planted these like maybe 5 days ago, so they've sprouted really quickly, which is cool. And I planted some dwarf beans, some purple one. Only 2 came up. I think something dug up the other beans that I put in here, but 2 is better than nothing, so that's fine. I've got more in another pot, so that's all good. And I can always add more in here too. They grow so fast now that it's so hot. I planted these dwarf green beans. The variety is called Snap something. And they have sprouted really well too. Literally came up within about 4 days. So I just stuck the beans in the pot in some soil, watered the soil really well to begin with, and then basically didn't water for a few days. It did rain that night though. You're supposed to leave them for 2 days without watering, but they still germinated, which is awesome. I potted up all of my beetroot into bigger pots. I had quite a few come up in each cell, and they weren't quite big enough to go out in the garden yet, and because it's so hot at the moment, they were just going to get sizzled. So I have potted them on into bigger pots, and they've started growing really well, and I've just been putting them out in the sun for a couple of hours every day to harden them off and get them used to this heat. I'm going to wait for these to get to quite a decent size so that they've got a good chance of living, because it's been really hot this week in the 34s, very humid, which is fine for beetroot, but when they're so little like this, they're a little bit delicate. This tray's not doing that great. The echinacea still hasn't sprouted. I think they're just done seeds. I planted some snapdragon. These are like dwarf snapdragon flowers. I love snapdragons. I've got them here and over there, so happy to have all the color around the garden. It just makes it look so pretty. Some flowers didn't do anything. My sage has popped up, if you can see there. My sage, and I got one of the summer crisp lettuce germinated. That's okay, so I've done some more as well, and I just potted up some more of the beetroot into single cells here because I ran out of little pot, and the Aster Pink has done nothing. All right, so in this seed tray I've done another 6 summer cos lettuce. I only did those 2 days ago, so they haven't germinated yet, but fingers crossed for 100% germination. Some cosmos I did 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I was worried they weren't going to germinate, but I've got 2 that have popped up this week, so that's great. Spring onions have germinated there. I thought this California Wonder capsicum seeds, I thought they were old, but one of them actually germinated. I threw a whole heap of seeds in here because I thought, I don't know if they're going to germinate. One actually germinated, so that's good. And the yellow beetroot, I've only got 2 cells that germinated there, so that's fine. So there's a few that are still growing, a few we're waiting to germinate. And lastly, I potted up the Primo cabbage into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One didn't make it, but these looking great. They've started growing really well because they were getting a bit cramped in the cell that they were in, so they've got some room to grow bigger now. I'll wait for these to get quite big before I plant them out, so they've got a good head start. And there's just a few more lettuce in there as well, so they're doing really well, which I'm happy with. I also want to show you that I have a ginger sprouting. I was actually a bit worried about this plant because nothing happened for ages, but then 2 days ago I saw a tiny little bit of green popping out of the dirt, and now it's grown into that. So I'm happy that my ginger sprouted, hooray! Every day I've been opening up the flap on this bed so that the bees can get in and pollinate the tomatoes, which I have seen them doing. I was a bit worried they won't, but they definitely are. I don't know if you can see there. San Mazanos have started growing, so they're all starting to get tomatoes on them now, so that's exciting. Just gotta wait for them to get a bit bigger. And the eggplants are growing these beautiful flowers. They're so pretty. Hoping to get some eggplants soon. That'll be exciting. So every couple of days I've had to come out and pick these cucumbers because they're going nuts. They're a really decent size. So we've been having cucumbers every night in our salads, but I'm gonna have to get to the point soon where I give them away because we can't keep up with how many are growing, which is not a bad problem to have. These plants have produced so well. Just prolific and self-pollinating too, which is perfect. Exactly what I need, because I have to grow these in this enclosed raised bed, because otherwise the possums will just eat all my cucumbers. It's the only way I can grow them. I am starting to get some aphids in here though, I've noticed, because even though it's enclosed, that stops the beneficial bugs from getting in, like the ladybugs that can eat the aphids. So I try to open this door up of a day so that the good pests can get in here and try and eat the aphids, but there's just so many, and it's been so humid, and we've been getting lots of rain, which is what the aphids love, so it's an endless battle, but they're not affecting the fruit at all. They're still growing massive, so that's not a problem at this stage. I did end up blasting the leaves with the hose, which helped quite a lot. The Gorpin variety seems to be the most prolific. I've got 2 varieties of Craig in here as well, but they don't seem to grow as fast. I've got one at the back here, and it hasn't really produced as much yet, but we'll see how we go. I'll pick one of these. That's the Craig variety. I do prefer these because the skins, they're like a Lebanese, so you don't have to peel them. The Gorpin I peel because the skin's a bit tough, but they still taste good. So there's another 7 cucumbers. That'll keep us going for another week. So yeah, there's still quite a few on there, little baby ones still coming through, which is great. See, there's one down here that I need to pick as well. But yeah, you can see the aphids there. They're everywhere, but that's fine as long as I can get some fruit off these first, and then I'll just rip them out and put new ones in. Okay guys, it's a very exciting moment. I've been waiting for this for a long time, well, a few months anyway. My peach is ready. So I bagged 2 of these peaches. I bagged a few more, but 2 of these are ready. They're quite large, they're about this big, and they're orange and they're soft. I was almost going to pick them last night because I was worried the possums were going to steal them during the night, but they're still here. I think they're ready. I think they're perfect. So let's have a look. Look how beautiful that looks. It's gorgeous. I've never had a peach this big off my own tree. I got one tiny one off it last year, just one. It was nowhere near this big, so. Oh gosh, look at that. It is juicy. I'm hoping that it's not damaged by fruit fly, but we're gonna cut it open and have a taste test. All right. Got my knife here. I'm just going to cut this little bit off here because I'm not sure what that is. Cut the nasty bit out. I'm hoping this doesn't go all the way through to the middle. It smells amazing. Alright, let's cut it in half. It's so juicy. I hope it's ripe enough. Oh, it's a bit hard still. Oh no, it's too hard. Alright, let me just cut a chunk off and taste it. Let's go this side, the ripe side. I think it's still a little bit hard in the middle. Looks pretty good. Oh my god, it's so sweet. Even though it's not completely soft, it is perfectly ripe. And it's so sweet. Oh my gosh, it's delicious. I'm so happy. Let me try this bit because it's a little bit harder. Oh no, I dropped a bit. All of it is just delicious. Oh my god. It even tastes better than the organic ones I get at the markets. Sun ripened, no fruit fly damage, thank goodness. I've got a few more on the tree that may have fruit fly damage. I thought this might have because it had like some weird sap thing on it, but it's okay. I've got one more down the bottom there that was the same size and is ripening as well, but I'm going to leave that for maybe another day, just so that it really ripens up nicely. And I've got a few others that aren't quite the right size yet, so I'll wait for those. But guys, I'm so happy. Nothing beats the taste of a fresh peach off your own tree that's been sun ripened and grown organically. It's just heaven.